The Houston Texans. All I got to say is let them boys cook because they looked great last year. And by the look of it, they have gotten a lot better than last year. With multiple additions to the team, we'll talk more about that later. But with the Texans going 10-7 last year and holding the crown at the top of the division and making the playoffs, the only thing I can see is them getting better from here. Let's talk about CJ Stroud, though. CJ Stroud balled out his rookie year, playing unbelievable, throwing for over 4,100 yards and 23 tuds. Safe to say he's a keeper. But my question for you, Jix, is he going to sustain that level of play, or will he drop down a notch or two after teams have gotten tape and he's been in the league for a year?
So, you know my take on rookies. Every rookie has a chance to have an immaculate rookie season because there is no footage of them on tape for defenses, right? I'm gonna be honest with you though. Being an Ohio State guy, I saw CJ Stroud play at Ohio State. I've seen a lot of his interviews. The kid's intelligent, bro. He's able to understand defenses and he's able to make those game decisions. And with like on top of him being intelligent, he's already got the trust of his organization. The Houston Texans, from day one of drafting him, gave him the keys. Like, we have your back, right? You're
Yeah.
gonna lead this franchise. So I feel like with the amount of intelligence he has of defenses with athletic ability and the freedom to be himself as a player and develop himself, I think I'd be surprised if he had a bad season, right? The only thing I think stops him is possibly an injury, which I obviously hate, but it's very, very a popular thing to happen in NFL when you play the sport of football is injuries. So if he stays healthy, I think he has a chance to go for MVP possibly this year.
Yeah, I mean, he won rookie of the year last year, and he balled out, man. He looks so calm in the pocket. It looks like he knows what he's doing out there. It looks like he's been in the league for about 5 to 10
That's
years.
what I'm saying.
It's insane.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, well, let's move on to the two wide receivers who made them yards possible, and Nico Collins and Tank Dell. Nico had a great year with 1,300 yards and 8 tuds. Same with Tank Dell, but he missed some time and still almost had 1,000-yard season in just 11 games. Well, my question for you is with the addition of Stephon Diggs, who is a big name that came over during the offseason, do you think the Texans have the best wide receiver group in the league now in Diggs, Collins, and Tank?
Obviously, when you put him on paper, right, especially with the addition of Stephon Diggs, you're like, how could they not be the best receiving group? But let's not act like Stephon Diggs didn't just have 3 years of having an MVP candidate throw to him and Josh Allen, right?
Yeah.
I don't fully believe the speculation of Stephon Diggs is that much of a locker room problem, but being a Cleveland fan with that little whole Odell thing, I can see how it truly impacts a franchise and a quarterback because it looked to me that Baker Mayfield felt like he needed to look Odell's way even before he made those comments, right? When you add a
Yeah.
talent as Stephon Diggs with a young quarterback as CJ Stroud, it's not even so much that he's a problem or a diva. It's more of the fact that, like, I know this guy's a baller. Why am I not looking to Stephon's way? But with, like I said, if Stephon Diggs can not be the diva they claim him to be, I think CJ Stroud is intelligent enough to make winning plays with that type of star player on the field. His decision won't be influenced because he feels he has to throw to Stephon Diggs.
Yeah. He has multiple threats that can.
And he's a smart enough quarterback to where, sorry, Stephon. And that's ultimately, if Stephon cannot be the diva that they claim him to be, I think they are the most deadliest wide receiver group in the National Football League, close with Tyreek and Jaden Waddle. Like,
Yeah.
it'll be
They're
interesting.
up there. They're up there, especially with the Chases and Higgins, your
And the
Tyreek and
Addisons and
Waddle.
Jeffersons, like, there's a lot of good duos, but that's a trio. There's not many trios, right? So therefore, you have to consider. And then on top of that, they fucking re-signed Dalton Schultz. Excuse me,
Yeah,
tight end.
they did.
I really like Dalton Schultz in Dallas.
I do. I
Oh,
do.
excuse me.
Well, let's move on here. They also picked up Bengals former running back Joe Mixon, who is very reliable on the ground and through the air. Mixon last year had 1,034 yards and was the 8th best on the ground last year. With that pickup, I think the running game for the Texans got a whole lot better and adds more diversity to the offense. Will it be pass or run? Keep
Uh,
them guessing.
I
Oh,
I personally think Joe Mixon's just a different. He's comparable to Devin Singletary because he'll get you the same ground offense as Devin Singletary would, and they're both like the same through the air. They're not really your reliable go getter pass catchers like your Camaras or your Ecklers, but Joe Mixon, he's a good running back, right? So you can't count him out ever.
he's solid.
If
He's
they
solid.
if they can incorporate him into the game plan, like they also have Damian Pierce, I'm pretty sure, unless they got rid of him. I think they're going to be a pass heavy offense, right?
Yeah, they're definitely going to be a heavy offense, but like I think he's going to be good out of the backfield. It's just going to open up a lot more room for everybody, in my opinion, because you can't forget about him because he was pretty good in the air
For
last
sure,
year,
that's what I'm
also.
saying. You can't forget about him.
Yeah. Well, overall, with all the pickups and looking onto this season, do you think they make a big playoff push or they have a little setback this year?
So it's not called. When you say setback, I think they were blessed to even win the South. There was a lot of things that had to go right for them to win the South and make the playoffs, which ultimately ended up happening. Me personally, I have them going the same thing as last year at 10-7, maybe 11-6. I don't know if they'll win the division or make the playoffs because I think the Jacksonville Jaguars have a great chance at winning the division. The Colts with Anthony Richardson coming back, like they're gonna have some tough division games. Even the Titans can
Oh,
make
yeah,
some noise.
for
So
sure.
I have them going 10-7. You know I love my Ohio State guys. Like at this point, I'm losing faith in the Browns. The Texans are becoming my team. So we'll
Well,
see.
all this, with all the additions added to this year, we, like it seems like the team went all in, right?
Yeah.
So would you say this is like a Super Bowl or bust type of scenario? Like,
No,
because no,
definitely not. I think you have. They're going for the Super Bowl. The way they're treating it, it's yes, they're trying to win right now, which isn't bad,
yeah,
right? But they're ultimately setting themselves up for what looks like they would only be able to re-sign C.J. Stroud and not have much talent around him, right?
yeah, the way it's looking.
So
I mean, I guess we'll see. I
if you're a
mean,
franchise, you should be all in, right? C.J. Stroud is a type of a quarterback like that. Like hopefully he's loyal and he stays with them.
yeah, I can see it. Well, you already said your prediction. You said that they go 10-7 this
If
year,
they
right?
make a playoff push, they're not beating Baltimore. They're not beating Kansas City. They might probably can't even beat Buffalo even without Diggs. So if they make the playoffs, they could make the playoffs. But aside that, I don't think they're going far.
Yeah. Well, your prediction was they go 10-7, right?
10-7 could possibly go 11-6.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking they're going to go 11-6. I think they're going to have a baller year. I think they're
Yeah.
going to make some noise, really. So I guess we'll see what happens.
Well, guys, that's our take on the Houston Texans. Make sure to drop a like if you enjoyed this video and always comment down below what you think the Houston Texans are going to do next year. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Peace.